We are Geelong, the greatest team of all. We are Geelong, we're always on the ball. We play the game as it should be played, at home or far away. Our banners fly high from dawn to dark, down at Cardinia Park.
What's going on, Cats fans? Welcome to Post Game Live. After a massive win, well, not a huge win, but a big win for the Cats down at the Cattery in front of the new Joel Selwood stand. Welcome again to Post Game Live, brought to you, or refreshed by GT Lager, a new sponsor of the show, or Valhalla Brewery and Tap Room. First sponsor on the Hoops Crew Media Network. Welcome aboard. We're happy to have you. I'm going to crack one open. We've just had an 8-point win. Somehow got over the line. We made it happen. So let's bring on our first guest, John. John, how you going, mate? How you feeling? You're on mute, I think, mate. Still on mute, unfortunately. We might come back to you in a sec if that's all right. I might get your girl party B on. One sec. Here we go. Hello. First time meeting you. How you going?
I made it. Good. How are you?
Good. You must be absolutely charged after seeing the Cats.
Yeah, I was watching it on my laptop side stage at work while I was stage managing a show. And then I got to watch the last 10 minutes in the green room, and I was pretty stressed.
As we all were.
Yeah, as we all were. But yeah, it was good that they got over the line, and Paddy stepped up and did what good captains do. You know.
How did he kick that? I didn't think he was going to kick it. Actually, I thought just hold it, Paddy. If it's a point, well, we're just going to have to hang on in those last few seconds. But somehow it went through. I couldn't believe it. He struck it so sweetly. Yeah,
it was great. It was so good. And Ollie Dempsey was real good tonight too.
Wasn't he? Would he feature in votes, do you think, tonight, or is that asking a little bit too much?
I think he should. How many goals did he end up getting?
Yeah, I've got to pull up the stats. Hang on a sec. I've just got it home. 3 goals, 1 tonight, and 15 disposals, 7 marks, and 2 tackles. Ollie.
I think it's pretty good. I'd say that's a pretty good go.
Well, he's done fantastic. He's definitely playing. He's definitely playing next week.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, it was good. It was really fun It was just exciting that footy's back on again. I was so stoked to actually see it.
Are you someone that gets all down and out and think the season's over when you lose a round 1 game, or is it like, have you got you got your head on your shoulders right and you're okay? Like, if we lose this game, it's no big deal.
Yeah, no, it's no big deal. And I never leave a game early. I'm not one of those people. And even if we're losing terribly, I will stay. But yeah, no, I can handle it if we lose a game. It's fine.
Just felt like it just, for me, yes, it wouldn't have been the end of the world if we lost, but goodness me, it felt like it meant something tonight. A couple of times Chris Scott, they were showing Chris Scott in the coach's box and he had to get up and almost leave the room because he couldn't control
I was like, Dad does not look happy.
No, Daddy's not happy.
Dad is not happy. But yeah, it just would have been, I think it would have just stung a little bit more if we'd lost tonight, given the whole like Joel Selwood stand, let's get the Cattery really full. Like, it just would have, I think it would have stung the Cats fans a little bit more tonight. But we got it done. So,
and it was nice to see Joel Selwood kick truly to open. I don't know if you saw that. It was I'm not sure if they covered that on the tally actually, because I went to the game, but Joel had a shot from 5 meters out. He had to kick it.
Suit, or was he in Cats gear, or was he in suit?
Yeah, he's in his cabbage. Yeah. So he lined up, went bang. And then cool. Instead of no ribbon cutting or anything like that, just the Joel Selwood way. So
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, no, I didn't catch that.
Say that again.
I didn't catch that on the TV. I was surprised that because I'm in New South Wales on tour, and I was surprised that they even had it on the TV because in Queensland they don't show any games unless it's Lions or Suns. So
Oh, okay.
I wasn't sure because it was two Melbourne or Victorian teams that they would show it on the TV, but it was on, so it was good.
I think I just had a quick look at this other footy scores. It looks like the Suns got up tonight, which is crazy. So they're
Hey.
2-0 as well. Adelaide lost. So
Did they play the Crows?
yeah, they played the Crows. I think they played them in Queensland. So I think I could be wrong about that. I'm very much in Geelong mode at the moment. So
yeah, well that's fair. That's what the show's about. It's what people want. Yeah, Suns epic comeback is what I've just read. That's great. They played really well last week when I went and saw them against Richmond.
That's right. You did go to that one. Yeah. Oh, I don't know when Geelong's playing, but I'm a bit nervous about that one. But St Kilda can't win.
May 16th in Darwin is when they're playing.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
And the Saints can't seem to beat Geelong in Geelong after 12 attempts. So
that's good. Good for us.
If we play them next year, please. Their fans turned up, which was interesting. They had they had one end of the ground. Their cheer squad was behind the goals for the first time in years, and they had a good old time.
That's good.
Making a lot of noise.
Yeah, there looked like there was quite a few Saints fans in there, actually. I was, surprised. It's pretty hard to get a ticket down there, but I guess there's more seats now, so.
Yes, I think there is. No, I think there's a lot more. I was hoping there wouldn't be enough for the Saints fans, but they still turned up. So it sounds like pretty much everyone who had a ticket turned up. A couple of people maybe just couldn't come at the last minute, but most of them were there anyway.
Yeah, it looks pretty full. That's good. That's it.
Catters 1-0 undefeated. How good?
Excellent. We love to hear it. We love to see it. Cool.
Thanks for jumping on.
That's all right. Thanks. Enjoy your night. I'm glad I could finally make it to one.
Get you on again for sure.
Yeah,
have a good one.
Take
Go,
care.
Catters.
Bye.
All right. A couple of comments in the chat before I jump over to. I'll try Johnny again in a sec. I have the moment says Geelong toughed it out. Nice win against a very competitive side. Gee, I thought St Kilda was great, actually. I thought we could. I think it was about half an hour during that game where we couldn't even get our hands on the ball. I don't know what was going on, but the Saints, I mean, to their credit, they were amazing. Probably deserved a close finish in the end, to be really fair. Maybe even 1 point would have done it more justice, but Paddy Dangerfield does Paddy Dangerfield things when the pressure's on. So that was great. One more comment. Sports fan says, up that Cats. Yeah, up that Catters. All right, let's see if John's got his microphone situation working. Let's have a go. Try that, John.
Have I sorted it out?
Yes, well done.
Thank you. Technical difficulties. Can I just say, I've always been a big Ollie Dempsey fan, and he's probably in my perfect lineup, if I had to say. He played well tonight. No
doubt. That following you on Twitter during the week.
It's a little bit of an inside joke, isn't it?
How good was he tonight? Especially in that first half. Fantastic.
It was reminiscent of the Brad Close when he first came out and kicked 2 goals to start his career off as well. Well, I know Ollie Dempsey's always played a couple of games, but 3 goals was not bad. And some of those contested marks inside of the 50 were exactly what we needed.
It's just he's got a bit of a leap on him, hasn't he? He's crazy.
I also thought Jeremy Cameron from set shots not too good, but from the pocket was pretty impressive. Those 2 goals. You were at the game.
Yeah. I was the first goal in the first quarter where he went on like an 80-meter run. He sort of kicked it to space and then got it back again. I think Close might have given it to him back, and then he's like, "I'm gonna do like it's closest impersonation of the Buddy Franklin goal." I can't believe it went through, and it was perfect. It was perfect.
And then in the second quarter, from the boundary, just inside of 50, just hooks it through. It was beautiful as well.
Yeah. Was there any Saints on the line there? You go.
Are they joining us?
Who's that?
Sorry,
Who's
on the line. I thought you meant. I thought you
Oh,
meant
no,
on
no,
the
no,
phone
no,
right
sorry. Sorry. No. You said something about Max Holmes. What did you think of his game?
I thought he played really well. I thought he moved the ball really nicely. I thought he was really physical in the in the second quarter where he grabbed the ball and took on the Saints player who was in front of him and then moved the ball through. And I think we scored a goal off of that as well. That was
think
the
so,
one
yeah.
where then it got through to Dempsey and he collected the ball inside 50 and kicked a goal from that. I think I was saying on Twitter that I thought that we'd sort of missed that kind of physicality through last year. Thought that was the difference tonight. Was I thought the Saints were really good. I still think they'll be. Hard thing with the Saints is last 2 years they've come out firing. They've been sort of like a 8-0 or 8-2 type team to start the 2 seasons just gone. And I thought they'd come out firing again tonight. So I thought all things considered, we held them to what? 60 points or something like that?
68 9 goals, 14. So their kicking was a bit way off, but so was ours, really. I mean, especially maybe
on
not to start
sides.
with, but yeah, it wasn't great in front of goals and pretty low scoring. It's just there's lots of shots on goal. 20 shots on goal for them and 26 for us, but just none of us are very accurate on a very perfect night of football, really. 22 degrees and no wind.
I thought, considering how many 100-point games we gave up last season, to come out tonight and put up 68 against the Saints, I thought that was a really good defensive performance. And I think I'm feeling good about that going to next week when we play the Crows. The Crows coming off a loss against the Suns, which they came out hard and it was a really rainy game. I know you weren't watching it, but I was watching it on my second TV.
Oh, okay.
It was like torrential rain, hard ball to win. That's why it was so low scoring. But I think we might be okay over there in Adelaide. I wonder.
Oh, yeah. It should be a even Stevens type of contest, I'd say. I think we got through tonight pretty unscathed injury wise. It looked like Koladashny was hobbling a bit at one stage, and Tyson Stengel might have been the substitute that came off tonight. I think in three-quarter time.
He was the sub for Manor.
Yep.
How about Paddy Dangerfield? Bit of a throwback to win the game as well.
Oh, how good.
Did
you think he was going to kick it? Did you think, knowing Paddy's history in front of goal, be honest, did you think he was kicking that?
It's not his job. It's not his job to kick goals. The fact that he does, that's like icing on the cake, or cherry on top.
That's right.
But it got through in the end. No, it was like, if you watched it on TV, it was like, oh, that's going out. That's not a chance. And then at the last second, it just snuck through. Must have been beautiful to watch with the crowd around you. Were you in the new section of the stands, or you were in
No, the Premiership stand, I think it is.
Yep.
Next to the I was right behind Cameron Ling, actually, and Aaron Phillips, the boundary riders. I was literally 3 rows. Could smell Lingy's cologne. That's how close I was to him. So you see all the goings on of the production crew and all that's interesting, but yeah, no, it's a great spot. It was a great spot to be. It's our first time, me and my partner, first time getting seats together. So we've got them all year now, so that's great. We're pretty happy with it. So hello to anyone who I sat next to that kind of we did meet some nice new neighbours. I don't know, I didn't actually mention this show, but
did you sign them up? Oh, you got to sign. What are you
not
doing?
Yet, I haven't signed them up yet, so I tried. I was there to watch the footy.
We'll let them know about the Patreon. Like and subscribe.
I'll recruit a little bit more next time. Can I ask you? And we should be celebrating, and we will celebrate. But what did you think of Sam De Koning's game? Because you watched it on the tally. I was watching it live, and I was pulling my hair out at some point. I don't know about how he looked on the tally, but what were you thinking?
Thought he looked good. I thought,
interesting.
Here's what I'll say. I thought Tom Stewart would get my 3 votes when you're doing that on Twitter or whenever tomorrow.
Yep.
I thought Stewart played our best. And this is what I was saying before, is last year we gave up so many 100-point games. The fact that we didn't tonight against the Saints, who are good, and they're not a high-scoring team, I understand that. But I thought we played a very good, complete defensive unit. what we really suffered from was the counter. It was like anytime we were trying to go inside 50 and the ball got turned over, the Saints, how many points did they score off our like counters? Must have been like at least 3 or 4 goals.
Yeah, there was a couple of umpiring decisions that didn't help, but
so that was the struggle. Yeah. I try not to let the umpiring it gets in my head, but I don't like to vocalize it.
No.
So I thought all in all, I thought defensively, DeKoning was okay. I thought Stewart was fantastic. He was our best. I thought Jack Henry was a bit so-so. I thought Colin Jasny actually played pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah, it wasn't. There was a marking contest where him and DK went for it, and they both kind of pulled out, which is probably the only thing that I noticed reaching up close. But I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah, no, go back and watch the game again on TV because Colin Jasny, I thought he was like kind of like a creator of chaos, where it wasn't like he got possessions or he did anything spectacular, but he would just always kind of be in there and like punching the ball away from the Saints attackers. So I thought that stood out to me as far as our defense went.
I'm just looking at some of the stats here for Tom Stewart. 6 marks, 22 touches.
I saw at one point on the TV, Channel 7 was saying that Geelong was leading the intercept possessions or the intercept mark, something like 22-10. I think that was like halfway through the third quarter or something like that. So we were definitely shutting them down when we needed to. It's just we couldn't put it on the board. There was so many behinds, so many posts. How many times did the ball hit the post?
I'm gonna try and have a look and see if it'll tell me.
5 or 6 times, I want to say. It should have been a comfortable game in the end, I think.
Yeah, that should have been. I'm looking through some of the team stats. It looks like we're ahead in most categories or thereabouts, or it's pretty even. It's pretty even across the board. If we were ahead, we're only just ahead. Inside 50s probably the big one. Plus 19 inside 50s on that one. So that was pretty telling. I'm shocked that we had more disposals than them. It looked like they were all over us, but I guess we both went on runs at various stages. It felt like the Saints, we just couldn't get our hands on it at one point for easily 20 minutes or something. But we must have been doing it to them as well. They were probably equally getting frustrated as well. But
yeah, it would have been a bit of a slug for the Saints. It definitely seemed like we had the ball more for definitely a lot of the first half. It just seemed like they were converting a lot off of their possession. So anytime it went inside 50 for them, they seemed to score more often. But then in the second half, they just couldn't put through the goals, which kind of like we got to capitalize on. I'm just trying to think. So my 3 votes would go to Stewart. My 2 would probably go to Holmes. And then I got to say my 1 would probably be for Dempsey. And I don't know if this is like the LeBron James effect, where it's like, are you familiar with the LeBron James effect?
I am.
It's where so for anyone watching, so when it's like LeBron would probably get 3 votes in every game he plays, but because he's LeBron, he often gets overlooked.
Exactly.
So it usually goes to someone else. Whereas it's like, I think like Dempsey actually sort of deserved, even though I know it was sort of like one of his first, what was it, like 8th or 9th game playing professionally. I thought he did play really, really a really good game of football. So
yeah, he'll hopefully he strings a few good games together. You imagine it'll be a matter of time until he just drops off a little bit and may need to go back to the VFL for a few weeks. But I'm really happy for him that he started his preseason really well and he's carried that form into round 1 as well. All right, mate. I might get on to Craig, but thanks for jumping on. How good is it to start the season 1-0? It's fantastic.
The pressure's off.
Thanks for jumping on, buddy. I really appreciate it.
Yep.
Have a good night. A couple more comments before I bring Craig on. Daniel Garcia says Henry gave Stewart the opportunity to move up as the loose man and make more valuable interceptions. Yeah, I think that's right. I thought Henry was okay. He never sets the world on fire unless they throw him forward, but he did a lot of good things tonight. He's a big body, so that was really good. Glenn Fury says, loved Holmes' game, especially the 3-bounce special and big kick to the forward 50 end of the first half. He was terrific, wasn't he? Absolutely incredible. All right, Craig, you've been very patient. Thank you. I'll get you on. Here you go. Hey, all the way from Sandusky, Ohio. How you going, buddy?
Man, I am doing fantastic. It's well worth getting up at 3:30 in the morning to get 4 points on the ladder the first week out. It was great.
Fantastic.
Little nerve-wracking though. A little nerve-wracking.
Didn't need too much coffee.
My pot is empty. It's over here on the floor next to me. I am devoid of coffee for the day. Yeah.
What time is it over there right now?
It's 20 minutes after 8 in the morning.
Oh, perfect.
So
Perfect.
Sun's finally up. My dog is ready to go out for a stroll, but he has to remember that I've had a lot of coffee, so it'll be a while. Yeah.
What did you like from the coverage
tonight? First of all, I seeing the stands enclosed and finished, and knowing that I'm going to be waiting yet another year before I make that trip over there, as I mentioned last week, kind of stinks, but it looks beautiful. I was very impressed by Ollie Dempsey, and the correlation that I made, and I posted it online during the course of the game, was that he is doing, just in this game especially, he started to remind me of Zach Guthrie a couple of years ago, where Guthrie started doing things where, in a roundabout way, he's telling Chris Scott, you can actually put my name on the magnet in ink now. You don't have to put it on in pencil. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be here. And I wonder if Dempsey continues to play the way that he did, and with the pending free agency of Tyson Stengel, does that possibly make Stengel expendable at the end of the year and allow them to put those resources somewhere else in terms of bringing somebody else to fill in a void where we're likely to see somebody stepping away from the club at the end of 2024?
Yeah. You hate to lose anyone.
No, you're right. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm not advocating for it. I'm just, yeah.
It does happen though, and sometimes it needs to happen because you've got too much of a good thing, or some players are sitting there not getting opportunities, and they need to make the choice to move on for themselves. But I hope that's the situation, Crack, at the end of the year, that we've got all these absolute stars, and Stengel has a fantastic year, and Dempsey hopefully he plays 16 or 17 games this year. Fingers crossed. Awesome. He gets a good opportunity to really cement a spot. I still think he's probably going to have his up and down games. I think that's to be expected. He's the type of player that looks like that to me. And but there's a bunch of guys that are really starting to step up. And I'm thinking of your Tanner Bruins and your Max Holmeses. Tom Atkins was okay tonight. I didn't notice a lot of him, but 21 possessions,
same thing with Jai Clark, who did not spend. You didn't see he was out there a lot, but he did not have a big impact. He only had a baker's dozen worth of disposals tonight. But the fact that he got through an entire game instead of just a single quarter is a bonus. It's that's all we saw from him last year. But that's an untapped resource that we have really no idea what he is. He's almost as though we got an extra first round pick in the 2023 draft because he didn't play in 2023.
No, an absolute bonus.
Yeah. So I did think it was, and I don't know if it was just that the ball was on the other side of the ground all night long, but Zach Tuohy he still had about a dozen disposals, but you didn't see much of him around the ball tonight until the last couple of minutes when he kicked that late goal and had a. But he's somebody who, does a lot of the right things, but is somebody going to surpass him this year?
I feel like it might happen. I was really happy that he kicked that goal, clearly because of the result. But for him, he's really struggled last year, having shots on goal. He's historically been pretty good, but has struggled last year and probably parts of the year before. But I'm so glad he got that one tonight. You could tell he was relieved on his face. So happy for him. and it's good that they play his little Irish jig at the end of that. I don't know if you could hear that on the coverage, but at the ground they play this little Irish song every time he kicks a goal, or one of the Irish boys kicks a goal. They play a little song as well. But back to Clark. I thought he was fantastic tonight. I thought he probably had more than one tackle. The stats are saying he only had one tackle. I thought his pressure around the ball was immense. So I probably wouldn't look too much into his stats tonight. I thought he's probably played like an 18 or 19-year-old who's played a quarter of footy in his life.
Yeah.
I thought he showed some really good signs, and I think we stick with him a few more weeks as well, just to see how he goes. So
and
I'm not sure who we drop out of this side. There's probably one or two names, but I'm not really want to talk about that just yet. But overall,
and looking ahead, you've got the Crows who played through a quagmire. It sounds like up on the Gold Coast today, who battled back without Tex Walker and made it a 1-goal game. So it's that's a club that I tipped to finish in, I got them 5th. Of course, I had St. Kilda in the top 4 this year too, so I'm glad we got that one. But yeah.
Now it's the Cats we're undefeated, Craig. Preseason and first game of the home and away, undefeated.
We're undefeated, and Collingwood is 0-2.
0-2.
Yes.
Oh well.
I don't mind that at all. I don't mind that. I don't mind that in the least. So, but yeah, it's they were much more effective in terms of putting points on the board though, because they scored almost half the time they got the ball inside 50, and there was that. Now that's including the behinds. I mean, goals are only 20%, but there was a period of about 6 or 7 minutes where they just locked the ball inside their 50, and we could not get it out of there. And it was just thinking, is this going to bite us on the behind before this is all said and done? And you got to tip your cap to the Saints, because you get down 3+ goals, they could have easily just folded their tent. But I don't think that's something that Ross Lyon Club is going to ever do.
No, they're very impressive. I think they're going to go okay this year. I'll be interested to see what Jake from Saints TV, who's just joined us in the back room. I'll get him on in a second, but
and please,
interested to see what the Saints fans thought of the performance of their team tonight.
Yeah,
I think they did tremendous. They should be very proud of themselves, and could have easily won that game.
Please ask Jake when you get the chance if they're going to bring him back on the Today Show and play the Saints song, because when he was on, the female broadcaster played the Collingwood song because he'd been a Magpie supporter when he was a youngster, and now they're 0-2. And yeah, the Saints lost today, but I think they should let him come back on and play the Saints song nonetheless on there, since they decided to put him on the spot and make him feel bad about that.
Great. I'll let you ask him. Actually, here he is.
Straight into it.
So
thanks for joining us, mate.
Are they going to bring you back on so they can play the Saints song? I mean, it's I thought, wow, they played that Collingwood song. I didn't really like that at the end of the interview that you did on the Today Show the other day.
Yeah. A lot of people in the comments said that it was a bit of a stitch up that went a minute too long, but I think Sarah goes for Collingwood, and if we beat them on Thursday night, I'll hit up the manager and say, put me back on so I can give it back. So it's good ammunition, bit of banter. Yes. But
I know who I'm going to be hoping wins that one, because I love seeing the Owen Wilson memes.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see a few Darcy Wilson memes tonight if we got the win, but yeah.
Well, they did say that his family had 30 tickets for the game tonight.
Yeah, they had a full row.
Yeah,
they got a good show. So he played well. Stood out to me definitely as a very important player. Tough night though, I have to say. It was a very frustrating watch as a Saints fan.
Who was the Saint that did the dump kick at the end? Because that
was Sharman. And we put him back. He's, to me, he's part of our best 3 sort of forward structure with King, Membry, Sharman. That's kind of my thing. But I think you had that many inside 50s, and we're missing Dougal Howard, and it just wasn't working. That I think was it Dempsey that was killing us? Is that Dempsey? Yeah. I think he went to Dempsey, and to be fair, the first few minutes up on the wing, he continued, like he got into the contest, punched the ball out of bounds, was really proactive, unlike a lot of our other defenders that let Dempsey, he led them to the ball. But then when it got into your inside 50, it was just the opposite. We kind of just watched and let him do what he wanted. And I know if you had a kick straight, the game could have been done. But at the same time, I think our inside 50 efficiency was 60-odd%. Every time we didn't go in many times, but when we went in there, we had a shot. It just came down to the midfield. Your midfield was just cleaner for longer.
It's funny how we look at the game as supporters of different clubs, and for a fair chunk of this game, probably 2/3 of it, I was so frustrated in the way we were playing. But also in admiration for the Saints and how clean and efficient they were, and just how they just seemed to do whatever they wanted at times.
I wasn't thinking that.
That's how I was sitting at.
Well, I remember one mark in particular with that Membry took over on the wing. I think right in front of the interchange.
When he ran in front of two Geelong players,
right? They were like these two players that were posing for their statues that were going to be constructed outside of GMBHA Stadium. Didn't move, and he just split the two of them and just took the mark. And I don't recall whether or not they scored off of that, but just the fact that they neither one of them tracked the ball, and he just came in as like it was a drill where somebody was just holding the bags there for him. It was.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was when he kicked it long and then King marked it, and then he ran around, and that's when Darcy Wilson marked it and snapped it on his left. I think that might have been the time, or if it was the other time where King played on from the advantage and kicked it out of bounds. I'm not sure if it was that one, but I mean, from a Saints point of view, I just did my live review, and it was just. It was just a few little things that we could have. This is a game to me that we should have pinched. We should have pinched it. Like, I thought that we just didn't use our assets enough. Like, when we got going and we were quick, like, we looked electric. Like, Liam Henry was electric when he got the ball. I just thought we were a bit naive with not putting Owens in the middle enough. I thought that's where we needed him. And there was just, like, you talk about composure and how slick we were, Ben, but, like, I was the opposite. We were rushed. We didn't have composure. There were so many times where we got the ball and it was a 5-meter handball over the top to a free man, but we try to just like do a little 5-meter kick and you guys would smother it every time and turn it over. And to me, that's just not the way we play. I think that's maybe just trying to play too quick and not thinking through things enough. But the fact that we only went down by 8 to me was the big thing, that on paper you win that by 50 points. Like, you won every possible stat comfortably. Clearances, disposals, inside 50s, contested possessions, uncontested, intercept marks, time in front, time in attacking half. I think that comes down to how good of a structure and how good of a coach Ross Lyon is, that can all be thrown at us and we're still a chance of winning.
Yeah. Now,
yeah.
I want to ask real quickly, because I'll step away and let you and Jake discuss things here. But I do want to ask, since Jake is here, what do you think of the shoe situation with Rowan Marshall and Brian Myers? What is that?
When he threw that, I thought, you dog. I thought that was I was just like, umpire actually take control of the situation. That would be nice. Just blow the whistle, stop the clock, go, Ro, put your bloody shoe back on. You don't throw it away. Let's go. The umpires just stand there and they're like, let things happen. It's like when a brawl happens, they just hover around the pack and don't even do anything. It's like, you literally run the show here. Like, don't pick and choose when to be the boss. Like, blow the whistle. It's just, I don't know, just one of those things where it became an event, and it only did because the umpire just stood there and didn't do anything.
I just want to bring a comment up here. Hang on. Here we go. Brian Myers, Mad Monday outfit. He's already got sorted up.
Yeah, that's a good one. Ever see a guy say goodbye to his shoe? Yeah. That's going to be a meme on the weekend for sure.
Well, it was actually a meme before. It was actually a GIF before the game was done, because somebody found a clip of a lady and a gentleman doing like a soccer pregame from the sideline where the ball hit her in the back of the head. So they clipped that together with him throwing the shoe. So yeah. But hey, I'm going to go ahead and step away and let you two gentlemen talk. And I appreciate you having me on here, Ben.
No, thanks, Craig. Good to talk to you always.
You bet.
Take care.
See you, mate.
Yeah, Jake, I have to say, and I think I might have said it a little bit earlier in the show, the Saints fans that came tonight, they were loud. Oh my goodness me, they were at the river end of Cardinia Park, and they had all the whole almost like 2 or 3 bays behind the goals.
Yeah,
and I was getting a bit embarrassed as a Geelong supporter at one point. I'm like, it was a bit Sleepy Hollow of Geelong, and it was only when you guys started getting a bit vocal that we started perking up a bit. So hats off to your fans. You probably deserved the win. Well, maybe not deserved it,
you
but
reckon?
it should have been.
No. It was a weird one, wasn't it? It's genuinely a game like if you were a neutral watching it, I don't think you could say one team deserved it over the other. Like I thought it was a real sort of to me, you won it in that 2 minutes where Hawkins finally kicked his goal. I think who was the other one? Henry, was it? He marked it, and I don't know if he kicked it. Did he? Yeah, I think he did.
Yes, he did, actually.
Yeah, it was just the quick consecutive goals that for a chunk of like the third quarter and start of the fourth wasn't happening. And to me, when we dominated, we just didn't maximize our chances. Like you said, there were periods of the game where it was like 6 minutes inside 50 shots. It was all us. And I think, it was the third quarter. Was it the third quarter we kept you goalless? Or was it the second?
I think it might have been, yeah.
Yeah, it was 0 goals 6 to 1 goal 3. Like, I don't know, 4 goals straight to 0-6. It sounds a lot better to me.
0-6. We went from 43 to 49 points.
Yeah, and you kicked 6 points. But then you could say, well, if we kick straight, I mean, that's a 20, 30-point lead there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think both teams, I don't know. I think, do we take more away from it than a Geelong supporter? Do you walk away and go, well, Saints could have won that and we're at home, and I don't know, did we show more? Did we surprise with the resilience that we had? I mean, what do you take away from it, like from St Kilda? Do you think it showed something?
Yeah, definitely. I think both teams. I mean, you want the 4 points, but I think both teams will walk away and think, okay, yeah, Cats got the win, and we probably won that game. To me, it felt like we won it ugly in the second half. We were doing the tough stuff, things we had to do. Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but it was traditional Geelong, just get it done type of footy. And I think the Saints should walk away from this thinking, goodness me, we nearly had it. And it's, it just takes 1 or 2 bad decisions to cost us a game, especially against, Geelong wasn't much chop last year, but historically they're a great team. But it doesn't take a lot to lose to a good team, and you've got to be on. And for round 1 to be that close, to win at a venue you haven't won at for like 10 or 12 attempts.
25 years,
I'd be pretty happy with it as the Saints. I mean, I'd encourage any other Saints watching this to not be too down on their team. I think most Geelong supporters would probably say, goodness me, they looked impressive. And just happy, and we're just happy that we got the win. And there's some highlights that we can take away from it. The danger goal. I didn't think he was going to kick it. The Jezza goal from the boundary, the Buddy Franklin style goal.
Jezza was the difference in the first half. That's what I put in my post. I said, I think the margin was 13 at halftime, and I thought they're 2 or 3 goals better than us at the moment because of him. Because of his mark against Membry, running back with the flight, his goals that every other player on the field probably doesn't kick. His snap, he's on the run. He's just got that extra level to him that a lot of players don't have. I thought we handled Hawkins pretty well for the majority of the game.
Yeah. He had the grumpy pills tonight. Someone, I don't know, you guys must have been roughing him up a little bit. If he wasn't happy.
Zane Cordy just in his ear the whole game.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't too happy there. Blitzarves, the clearance was the game breaker. I love Blitzarves. If you ever watch this show, anyone who watches this show knows I love Blitzarves. He was doing some big things in that fourth quarter. He just gets it and off a step, kicks it 50 meters and gets a clearance. So he probably would have had 2 or 3 clearances in that third quarter. The fourth quarter.
That's just what we couldn't do.
Incredible.
We didn't get any, like you had, I think there was a stat like Danger had 2 or 3 clearances. He has 300, 400 meters gained or whatever. He's using the ball really building the territory for the team. And then on the flip side, we've got Crouch and Steele, who are just 5-meter handball clearances, and you're just not getting any momentum out of the clearance there. I think Danger just tore us up. I was surprised that he wasn't really my man to focus on going into this game. It was the forwards, and weirdly, I thought we handled the forwards pretty well. It was just further up the ground. Your back line, I thought our forwards handled your backs pretty well. Like, we generated a lot of shots. I thought King was very good.
I did too. I couldn't believe he only had 2 goals. He looked so dangerous all night.
Yeah, like 2 goals, 4, but I thought he let up, and his ground ball skills are just elite. But yeah, from a Saints perspective, I don't take too much. I'm not disheartened by that. It's a tough place to go. I've been to the Cattery many times where we've walked away at quarter time thinking, well, this is going to be a long night, you know? But we fought it out. That's all. That's all we can ask for as Saints fans. We asked for just some fight, some grit, and we got that. We didn't get the win, but we got the rest. So start there.
Maybe it's better off winning the games in the back end. Well, you want to win early ones. Everyone wants to bank early wins, but the Saints probably in recent years have won a lot of games early in the year and then sort of just dropped away a bit. So
yeah, that was last year, the first 4.
Yeah. So hopefully they'll find some good form. Who have you got next week?
We've got Collingwood on Thursday night at the G. It's going to be massive. But you know what? Based on what I've seen from Collingwood, what I've seen from us, just go and apply the same sort of method. I think that the application was there. Could you ask Jake thoughts on Brad Hill? Brad Hill, I did my player ratings just then as well. I gave him like a 5. I thought he was okay. 12 disposals though. 12 disposals in a game like this where we need to break it open. I felt like we were just stuck in the contest too much, and we needed the Henrys, the Hills, Nasai Wanganeen, Maliras, to Darcy Wilson to get on the outside and open up the space, because I thought our leg speed would trouble you. That was kind of where I thought we'd get you. But you never really allowed us to do that. We could never get those running chains. I don't know why. It kind of felt like you pressed up the contest and just harassed us, and it was just a slow possession game. You started chipping it around. I thought, well, this is on Geelong's terms now. The second you start switching it out back, I'm like, this is exactly what they want.
Exactly.
And
especially
I think
at home.
Yeah, especially at home. You've got there's no wings, and our strength is wings. So that just, I don't know, it just affected the whole game plan. But I'm sure that's not the reason why we lost, and not the reason why Brad Hill had 12. But I mean, it's a factor. It's a small factor. But he wasn't great. I'll say that much.
Before I let you go, mate, I do want to take the opportunity to say congratulations on 10,000 subscribers on the channel.
Thank you, mate.
And yeah, terrific effort. You've been doing this for a few years now, but I've been tracking your progress on the channel the last probably 3 years since we've been going. And what we tend to do on our channel is we take the good bits of a few other YouTubers that we like, and we try and bring it all together. This is clearly a rip-off of Blue Abroad's post. The fan cams.
He's great. Terry's great at that stuff. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's good to just see so many awesome fan channels coming out, and high quality ones like yourself. Like, it's not just for me, I started on the phone in the car and not really any sort of equipment or anything, but you've got the clean look, you take yourself seriously in it. And I love that about this sort of media. It's not just crazy fans that don't know anything. We know stuff. Like, there's fans out there that just have so much knowledge, and it's great to chat to yourself, and then to Terry, and even just fans that come on after the game. It's always good fun.
You've got Swoop next week, so you can
have
a lot of fun at his expense next week.
Swoop. It's good to at least get him now. Like, we're going to do a preview together on the game. It's good to have Swoop when hopefully the last 2 weeks have kind of put him back into the box a little bit, It's going to be.
Don't worry, he'll be up and about if they win, though.
He'll be puffing the chest, that's for sure. Yeah.
Oh, mate. No, congratulations again. If anyone's following in the chat that hasn't checked out Saints TV, check it out. You'll be able to, it's good to actually get the opposition's view of the game as well. And it's interesting because we're very one-eyed, especially at Geelong, goodness me. But I do like to speak to opposition fans every now and then to sort of see what their take on the game is, and and where their good players are. So I really appreciate you coming on the show, Jake. Hopefully we play you guys again later in the year. I can't remember if we play you twice. I think it's only one.
Yeah, right at the end. I think it might be round 22 or 23 again at Marvel. So could be a big one again.
Maybe another grand final will be good too. In a cold and wet, windy day at the MCG, that'd be great.
Don't remind me, mate. Oh, don't go there. You had to end it on a poor note. Just stick to the 10,000 compliment.
I'm doing
okay?
well.
You're doing well. You're so well, and then the Geelong got into you, and you couldn't resist.
Sure did.
Yeah. All good, mate.
Take it easy, buddy.
Thanks for having me on. See you, mate.
Soon. Cheers. All right. Before I get Ethan on, a couple of more comments on the show here. Coaches played a big part in what happened. Corey Enright will have affected Ross's insights and how to play us. Yeah. And on the Corey Enright thing, they didn't stop the game when he lost his shorts a few years ago. I was thinking, they stopped the game when someone loses a shoe, but what happens when Corey Enright loses his shorts? No, we're not going to stop the game for that one. All right, Ethan, you've been very patient. Thank you. How you going? How's things?
Pretty good. Feels good to have a win.
Undefeated. Hashtag undefeated.
I thought the Saints are tough, man. I mean, talent-wise, especially with who they were missing, they don't stack up. I mean, you're down Butler, Clark, Dow, Hayes, Sinclair, and Webster, and they were in it. And yeah, our inaccuracy had something to do with that, but they made that game tough. They grind games out. And fortunately, Dangerfield showing up in the fourth quarter ended up being a difference. I thought two very different halves in terms of what to take away from our side.
Yeah, wasn't it?
I thought first half, we should have been up way more. Also, I hate playing these guys. They just make games ugly.
They do.
I am not looking forward to seeing them again, but I thought, first half, Bruin was awesome. Clark had a really good first half. Holmes was the one who was really productive throughout. I was surprised that we kind of used O'Connor on the wing more, but it worked. I think there was something to build off with that. And I think if Clark and Bruin can turn that first half into a full game performance, that's terrifying.
I agree. I think, it might come with a bit of time, but if that happens, unbelievable.
Yeah, we're on. I think Holmes was our most consistent performer. Everyone's obviously had a lot of positives to say about Dempsey, but one thing that didn't get noticed, his first two kicks were awful, and for a young player, those are the sort of things that could tear you apart. And he powered through that and ended up having a really positive impact on the game. I mean, for a young guy to start a game like that and tough it out and end up being such a positive producer, there's a lot of mental fortitude in that. And then Jake Kolajashny was the unsung hero of the night, I think.
Really? Interesting.
I was so critical of him last year, but he never had that bad turnover or brain fart. He kind of moved up a little farther than usual a couple of times. Actually moved the ball pretty well. Just his kicking accuracy was good. I really liked his game. And I know he only played a quarter, but Sean Manna.
Talk about Sean Manna. Talk about Sean Manna a little bit. No one's touched on him just yet, so I want to get into him a little bit.
He had a goal or two. It was a great smother by. I went back and checked. I think it was. Let me check. I want to say it was Cordy, because I thought he was going to have the goal to put the game away. I believe Cordy was the one who smothered it. Yeah, it was Cordy. And, we obviously, Sharman rushes the kick out of 50, and fortunately, Dangerfield puts away. Can't fault Sharman there, I don't know if you realize. I mean, they didn't have a ton of time. They needed to get downfield.
80% of AFL players probably would have made the same mistake. I don't know what they were supposed to do. It was chaos in that moment, and they did that. He did his best to get it out, but I feel bad for him. But
I can't criticize the Saints on much. I thought from their side, I thought Liam Henry. I know he only ended up with 19 disposals, but I thought he was excellent. Just his speed and every touch he had seemed to be impactful. He would get free and open something up. I liked how they played, and I thought there were multiple times where, we hit a post or missed an opportunity that I thought, oh, that's going to be, we're going to regret that later. And to tough it out in spite of that makes me really happy.
Can I ask a question? Because when I was at the game, it felt like the ball went out of bounds on the full a dozen times tonight across both teams. Maybe I wasn't seeing it. It just felt like it was world record pace for out of bounds on the full. Sometimes it was having shots for goal. Sometimes it was just bad kicking.
There were a couple. I remember Guthrie with a couple along the boundary. I forget who for them had a couple of them. We hit a lot of posts. I think they said 6. That's what I'm trying to find
the stats where we hit the post. I can't find that anywhere just yet.
I think to take away from this game, if we take most of the first half performance just with better kicking accuracy, I think there's a lot to build off and a lot to learn from. And you don't want to be in pristine form at this point. You want to have, you want to win and have things to work on. And I think we did a good job with that.
I think I think we just get the win. We realized it wasn't a perfect game. There'll be a lot of there's some highlights from the first half. It did feel like a game of two halves where lots more individual highlights in that first half. But I think the coaches will want to show a lot of the efforts and smothers, and I think someone said we might have had 6 smothers at one point. That might be you, actually.
Second half smothers.
Yeah. Just all those 1%ers, all those effort type plays in that second half. It was incredible.
That's something that felt like it was missing for so much of last season too. And I think even though his second half was quieter, a lot of that just comes off of Jai Clark. Yeah. I know he said they listed him for only 1 tackle, but it felt like a lot more. And just his presence in the midfield changes things really well.
Oh, it was incredible. I was looking around at a few people next to me when Jai Clark was just throwing himself at the football and at his opponent. I'm thinking, this is Joel. I know they say it's like Joel Selwood, but goodness me, there's some skills and assets that he doesn't have that Joel has, but geez, if that's your start, if you're going to start with that as your approach to the footy in a contest, that's terrific. I can't wait to go and watch the game again. I'll probably start with watching a little bit of highlights, but that's great. Pommy says Manor looked ready-made. Loved him at Werribee. He's a very decent get. Thanks.
I would. They had said Stengel might have been cramping a little, and it wasn't his best game. I thought if we had to pick negatives tonight, Stengel was pretty quiet. DeConing needs to find that 2022 form again. And give Tui credit for stepping up in the fourth quarter, but I think there's room there where, if you want to get Mana into the 22, and I think he's going to force the issue sooner or later. I think he he made a really compelling effort. Even without a goal, I loved the way he played. And then
he closed a couple of times there, but he'll get one eventually. But yeah, playing a quarter of footy, it's pretty hard.
It was a pretty good quarter on his part. Just again, first half was a lot more of what we wanted to see other than the way the second quarter finished maybe. And then second half was, just the tough, gritty plays that we just didn't have last year.
Mm.
You know who else, when I think about Clark, who I see a little bit of similarity with, just because I think of him as the tackler, is a James Rowbottom.
Oh, okay.
Who I just love watching.
Yeah. James Rowbottom's great, isn't he? Or as Ryan Taylor calls him, paddle bum.
Yeah, I am not looking forward to playing the Saints again, but I thought, I know what the guy from Saints TV, I'm blanking on his name, was it Jack?
Jake.
Jake. It's just like they have 5 guys on their list named Jack. That's what threw me off. But he had mentioned, that they didn't necessarily have, utilize some of their assets at times, which I could see how you could fit that. thought it was a strange game from Marshall. Like, he had a lot of the ball, and just his ability to block guys out of ruck contests is nuts.
Oh,
But I don't think they got him utilized much out of the middle there.
36 hitouts for Rowan Marshall tonight, 5 clearances and 19 disposals, 6 marks.
No, the stat line is impressive, but
That
I
line's
didn't
fine.
think he dominated like when we played them last year.
No.
I would love to know what Toby Conway would have done in there. I thought Reese was okay. The one clearance from Blitzoffs to set up a goal, I think it was the Hawkins goal. That was ridiculous. The hit out, then he gets past everyone. And then drills like the perfect kick to Hawkins. That was a winning play.
I want to have that and just play it on loop over and over and over all day tomorrow. I love Mark Blitzoffs. I love him so much. And then Cameron, I thought the first quarter he was a little like out of sync with everyone, and then he just made a couple of those insane degree of difficulty plays that like only he can make. Yeah, he just bobbed up 5 minutes. He took a crazy mark as well, kicked that goal clearly, which probably will be. Well, I haven't seen the rest of the game. I've seen a few other games this round, but it's going to be up there with goal of the round for sure.
Yeah, there have been some good marks. I haven't seen too many crazy goals this round.
It's up there, that's for sure.
Yeah,
incredible,
satisfying, and especially important with a tough trip next week.
Ooh, it's going to be hard. I think I probably, if I'm doing my footy tipping, and if I'm being really honest with anyone watching the show, I'm going to pick Adelaide.
We need to win a game out of state this year. Let's just start with
It's so hard to win interstate, and are we good enough to win interstate games? I don't know.
I think.
Yeah.
Rio's such an enigma. We go there. I think. I think we go to both Queensland teams. I think, which will be.
That's right.
Challenging. We go to Brisbane round 6, Gold Coast round 10. We go to Freo late in the year. I don't know what they'll be like at that point, but
they've still got a coach, so they haven't sacked the coach. They've signed him up again for another year or two.
The Crows are going to be a tough one, so it's nice to have that. Oh, that's right. The Suns game is in Darwin. Thank you.
Yeah, Darwin.
They're untouchable there.
Yeah. Yep.
But I just think stacking wins early. You saw the difference between last year and the year before, where when you get off to a good start and you're able to kind of manage guys and rest guys, and if someone has a minor injury, they don't have to play through it. It is important to get off to a good start, not just standings wise, but from a rest standpoint. And even though it's a younger team than that, it's still just from an injury standpoint. Like, anyone has a minor thing, it's easier to sit them and play someone if it's not a do or die game.
Yeah. There's a psychological element too that, you're not, have to win this game. What if we lose? It's almost like the pressure's off a little bit when you get some early wins. I don't know. I think I've said on a few other podcasts that I've been on that I think the Cats will probably turn the corner this month. Best case scenario, 3-1. I think I'll be happy with 2-2 though. I'm probably expecting to lose the Adelaide game. Probably win. Who we got the third round? I can't remember now, but I think we've got the Bulldogs as well at some point.
Hawthorn round 3, and then Bulldogs round 4 in Adelaide.
Yeah, so we should win 2.
I like our chances of being 3-1, and I'm not.
Yeah, I think the 3-1's looking likely. I think it's, if anything, it'll be the Adelaide game.
If we could get in at 4-1 and then go to Brisbane and then have Carlton, I would like that, because that round 6 through 10 stretch is actually round 6 through 11 is nasty.
Yeah,
we got to stack these early, but
if we head into that period at 2-3 or 1-4 or something like that, we're in big trouble.
Mm-hmm. I'll say mentioned, because they're a couple weeks away, Hawthorn, they're obviously really banged up. They were in the game until the fourth quarter today against Essendon. That was a decent game. not a lot of like flow to it where you felt like one player controlled it, but just like good competitive back and forth footy. Honestly, Essendon, I was pretty impressed with them. And Archie Perkins was probably best on ground in that game.
Yeah, I thought Hawthorn was going to actually make it. They were giving him some concerns for a while there.
Yeah.
But somehow they just pulled away in the fourth, which they should have done a lot earlier.
If they weren't so banged up, I would really like Hawthorn this season. I love the way they're building things without getting this too off track. But yeah, the injuries have taken a lot.
It's not a Hawthorn show, Ethan. Come on.
Yeah. Anyway, winning's good. Let's keep winning.
Oh,
if we could get to 4-1, I will be extremely happy. And this was a game that there were a lot of moments where it felt like we had our chance to pull away, couldn't do it. And to tough that out after all of that, guys showed a lot of heart, a lot of moxie.
Hawthorn and love in the same sentence. Never again.
I hate how much I enjoy the way they're building their team.
Let's hope it ends for them very soon. No, good on them. It's not the same team that did Geelong harm a few years back, but and
just my perspective is a little limited from
of the father and all that.
Yeah, whereas I have it in for Collingwood, Carlton, Sydney. Although I like the way the Swans play, I'm not a fan of them in general.
We'll see. Jury's out for me on the Swans. They've had started well, but I don't know. I don't think I'm much more impressed with GWS at this point in time.
Well, North did nothing to stop them going through the middle. When North got on clearances, they actually looked pretty good.
Are you hearing about this North Ball stuff that's going around? Is that making its way over the States? It's a bit of a joke at the moment. It's like you're probably not that familiar with cricket.
No, I'm not.
Anyone, any Australians or people that follow cricket would be familiar with Bazball. It's basically a high octane, high energy, hell for leather kind of approach to the game, rather than a more measured, controlled sort of style. And so that's kind of what they're saying about North Melbourne at the moment. It's a bit,
and I think that played right into GWS's hands today. They're
it's probably too early for them to play that way, but anyway, they'll get there eventually, maybe. We'll see. Who is your favorite? Before I let you go, who is your best on ground tonight?
For us, I would say probably Holmes. Just because he was consistent throughout. First half, it was Bruin, but if we're accounting the whole game, I think Holmes. And then on the Saints side, again, I thought Liam Henry was really good, even if other guys had more touches. I thought Henry was really strong.
I think Ollie Dempsey will probably get in people's votes.
Maybe not. Coaches' votes from this one will be really interesting.
A big spread, I think, across the both teams. Myself and Paul and Jake and Sambo and Johnny on the Hoops Crew Media Network, we're doing our 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 votes, a bit like the Norm Smith medal, and we'll announce those votes on the Monday recap show. We're doing, and we're not going to reveal any of the stuff until the end of the year, but we're doing our own Brownlow votes this year, just after, and to tie it back to the Saints, like seeing Rowan Marshall only get 3 votes last year when he was one of the best players in the whole game. Yeah.
So we're kind of tracking our own. We're going to come up with some sort of award to actually send, mail to whoever wins it. Something like very American. Something maybe from like Buc-ee's, which is the most American thing. It's this giant gas station thing in Texas. But
I'm gonna have to Google that one.
Yes, Bucees. It's like the most in-your-face America thing. It's like the opposite of Europe and all their walkable cities. But it's awesome.
Okay, sounds like a hamburger place.
No, but they do have. It's a gas station. It's like the world's biggest gas stations. And then they have like a full grocery store inside, basically.
And the Arch is the beaver mascot. Arch
yes, the beaver mascot. The brisket is amazing. Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, what's the most American thing we could send whoever wins this? And I think that would...
Something like that.
Yeah, got to be a Buc-ee's thing.
Mate,
Holmes is probably our best. Honorable mention Kola Jashny. I seriously liked his game a lot.
I don't know if you'll get a lot of love in the comments on that one, but if people in the comments agree with Kola Jashny, I was a bit, I don't know. I don't think he had a bad game.
He was so much better than last year. I wanted Buse to be in over him, and he proved his worth tonight.
Yeah. BUC-EES.com.
Yes.
Buckies.com.
Life-changing.
Life-changing. Can't wait for that trophy. Look forward to it. You have a lovely day. I know it's morning over there for you. I think it's morning still.
It is, yeah. 6 a.m.
I'll try and get Kyrie on the show if your camera's working there, Kyrie. But thanks for jumping on, Ethan. Really, really appreciate it. And we'll hopefully
fun to discuss a win again.
Make sure you come on when we have a loss. Make sure you come on as well. We've got to be there for each other. Good times and bad. All right. Cheers, buddy.
See ya.
Take care. Thanks for waiting so patiently, Kyrie. Here you are.
G'day,
how's it going?
How you going? Good, mate.
It's midnight. How you feeling?
Yeah, it's 11:30 in Adelaide, but close enough. But it's good win from the Catters. Good start to the year. Obviously, watching it from KO. I'll tell you what, GMHBA just looked awesome, like with the new stand and full of blue and white. And as mentioned earlier in the show, there was quite a few Saints supporters as well, and they were all vocal too. I could hear from the TV as well.
Oh yeah, at the game they were very loud.
Yeah,
they were very loud.
Yeah. Ollie Dempsey, I reckon he's definitely a lock for round 2. 3 goals and what he did across the ground. Got some notes here. I think Jai Clark's going to be very good. I just he didn't get much of the footy, but he just got involved and stuff like that. I think just give him some more games and more experience. Like the fact he was able to play a full game as well. He's going to be an exciting prospect.
I think it helps, doesn't it, to not come off as a sub, come on as a sub, or I think he might have even started on the ground. No, I can't remember actually. No, maybe he didn't. But yeah, no, he was involved in a lot. He doesn't need to get 30 touches. He won't get 30 touches probably for a few years. Even if that is the way he plays his footy, I'm not sure if that's going to be the way he goes about if he's an accumulator or not. But I just love his approach to the footy and to the opponent, and I think it just brings an energy to this team that we need. We've got him, and throw Atkins into that mix as well. And those two of those just wreckers going in there, and we just need Holmes in there as well for a bit of silk, and hopefully Tanner Bruin, and maybe one other one bobs up, and Paddy stays healthy. Good things hopefully will come. There's that sort of little bit of magic element there, that the magic ingredient that's hard to sort of pinpoint what that might be. But yeah, you take those wins early, don't you? We're taking that win tonight.
Oh, absolutely. It's like like in a game of soccer, you just got to take the points, no matter how ugly it is. And look, it's only round 1. Yes, we were inaccurate at times. We did allow same ground, but we'll learn from that. We'll learn from that throughout the year. Like 2022 in the first half, there were times we played patches of inconsistent footy. So I think if we just address on the goal kicking and manning up and stuff, I think we'll be okay, because it was good. But early days, it is important to bank those wins. And I'll tell you what, the Crows aren't going to be easy next week. I will be at that game, but I won't be surprised if we drop that one, because playing at the Adelaide Oval, they're a different breed.
Well, I won't be getting to that game, so I'll be relying on you to give that. And there'll probably be a couple of other Cat supporters that'll get over there, but unfortunately, no, I'll be watching that one on TV on Friday night back in Geelong, Victoria. So I'll be very keen. One thing that'll make it a little bit easier is jumping on this post-game live show a little bit earlier, because literally have to race home after the game, fight my way through crowds to get back to my car, which was parked about a kilometre away, and then a 15-minute drive to get home as well, and then just put the keys and the wallet down and jump into the garage. You don't want to see the other side of this camera. It's a bit of a mess. But yeah, no, it's a bit. I can't wait to actually when I finish up. I think you might be my last one, Corey. I'm going to actually put the highlights on and just have a look, and because it's a totally different feel when you watch it on the tally to watching it at the game. You see other things that you don't see on the tally at the game as well. So it's almost like you're watching the game all over it, or a different game, really. You know what's going to happen clearly because you've seen the result, but how it happens and things you might have missed with the lack of close-ups and so forth. That's the fun part. So Sunday morning sorted. It is Sunday morning. Good morning, everyone. Too early for Weet-Bix, but it's morning.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. So we take that one. We 1-0. We're very happy with that. And yeah. So who was your best on ground? Did you say who that was? Sorry.
No, I think I'm in a mix between Max Holmes from his role from halfback was very good. But Patrick Dangerfield as well. He had like that that captain's moment, that Joel Selwood moment, like, you know, we're going to win this game. And I just enjoyed it. I thought the same as well. Like, I thought he was going to miss that goal, but really, really happy he got that in. And it was a vintage Dangerfield performance as well.
It was, especially that second half. Just he gave it everything, didn't he? Hopefully he pulls up okay, because it felt like he was pretty desperate to win this game. And you want him to save himself for the back end of the year. That's kind of a finals like performance there. Hopefully, he's good. Hopefully, all it seemed to be most of the players were fine. They clearly have a few niggles throughout a game and so forth, but hopefully they're fine. All right, mate. I appreciate you being on. Really good to talk to you. Hopefully, we'll get to talk to you after the game. We'll let you get home from the game next Friday night.
I'll try my best.
See how you go. Even if you're walking to your car or on your phone, if I see you in the thing, I'll bump you up the queue. That'll be fun. Just get you on.
Adelaide Metro trains aren't really reliable, but I'll try my best.
We'll just how about we just interview some people on the train? How about we do that? We'll pass your phone around. We'll see how those Crow supporters feel about things. Good on you, buddy. Take care.
All right. See ya.
See ya. All right, I think we're just going to have to play things out. Right? Get some bit of cat music again. Well done, everyone. We got the win. Thank you for joining me. And I think we had about 30 or 40 people in the chat at one point online. So it's always great when we're finally here, round one. We've started the AFL season. It's been a long pre-season. I hope you stick with us. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give us a like, subscribe. Maybe tell someone about us because we're building. We just passed 1,000 the other day. A big thank you again to DT Lager, the Valhalla Brewery and Tap Room, the big major sponsors of the show. I really appreciate them jumping on board. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Go Cats, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.